All right, guys, here we're going to talk about the movie Sewer Gators. 2022 Sewer Gators. You couldn't possibly have seen this before, Lee.
That's true.
This was sent to us by the director of the movie, along with some stickers, a little bit of swag.
Okay, so we're obligated to say that it was great.
Of course.
Okay.
And a little bit of alligator jerky.
Ooh.
Yeah. Trying to bribe me won't save you.
Ooh. We love jerky.
Yeah.
I love strange jerky. That's my favorite thing.
This is a very low-budget movie, so everything we say go into knowing that. I don't know what the budget was, but I imagine it was $1,000, give or take.
Yeah, I mean, I'll go into my full thoughts shortly once we're in the spoil, once we're unchained, but I do not think that this is worth it. I think that it is too bad, and it is not, like, funny or wild enough what they were going for.
So I can't give it a wholehearted recommend here, or even necessarily a recommend in general. I think there are some fun concepts here. I don't know if the execution might have been where I would need it to be. It has some Chris Seaver-esque moments, but without his exact flair.
That special something. It seems like they had a lot of fun making it. I'm looking forward to getting this patient onto the autopsy table and really digging in there, though, because there's a lot of
there's a lot to talk about.
There's
a lot to talk about here.
It's wild.
Yeah, For the bad movie lover, and going to this, they know it's a bad movie. Like the stickers they gave me said like I love bad movies or something on it. So
there's like funny, there's like funny credits even. I'm sure the box like this is clearly not.
This was a like a fun project for them to make. They they had a good time doing it, and that does come.
It's not fair to judge it against
Yeah. You have to know what you're watching when you're watching it. If you're going to compare this against Titanic 2, it's not going to work. But for what it is. It's that. So if you've seen it or don't care, follow us over to spoilers, and if not, pull out now.
If you need a place to rent content, you better listen. We're Cannibal Video, and we eat the competition.
All right, guys, so here we are for the spoilers of Sewer Gator. Lee, let me hear them spoiler-filled thoughts.
Yeah, it's extremely funny because like I didn't know what year it was made. I just heard like, oh, we got a tip on a rare movie or something. And I go, oh, interesting. And then I'm like, oh, this is from like 2004. This is definitely because it looks so bad. And then there's like drone shots, which I don't like, and like. My like first reaction was like, just hold the drone and film people with the drone then. Yeah, you have a good kid. And then I'm like, no, they probably don't even have the drone. That's just like stock footage or whatever. Holy fuck. And I'm like, how do you get a camera so bad in 2022?
So that was my thought too.
Is it intentional?
The movie opens with like a guy is selling a fair, and he's like, oh yeah, he's like, come see the Alligator Fair. It's the 50th anniversary and some bullshit, and like it's all these beautiful stock footage clips, and they're so crisp and so good. And honestly, his the mayor's shot there looks okay.
We got something special here. It's 50 years, and I want you to come celebrate it with me at the Gator Festival.
But then it keeps cutting back to people watching it in an apartment, and like it's the darkest, worst looking thing.
You might think about 50 years. That's a long time.
Like the fake commercial part? Okay, you were like, it opens on a fair with a thing. I'm like,
no, they're selling a fair, pitching a fair.
Yes, but it opens on this hilarious TV shot
where
it's like, no one even has that TV anymore. And then I'm like, is that a joke?
Well, they're like country bumpkins. They have a weird apartment anyway. There's like 2 ovens that are just in the center of the kitchen.
That's because someone's they're moving, or someone's moving in or moving out.
It's an empty place. They say, we need furniture from them IKEA.
Okay.
When are you going to go to the IKEAs and get us some damn furniture?
That's when I thought we had hope. Because there wasn't like stock footage like drone shots like I'm talking about, I think, yet, where it's still like, holy shit, we're flying around the neighborhood, right?
Yeah.
So yes, like it's this empty apartment and these 2 people watching this horrible fake commercial that doesn't look fake enough or bad enough to be a fake commercial, even if you're telling me we're time traveling to 1985, right? Whatever. Then like the first lines of like actual dialogue are her saying like, we gotta go to IKEA and get some furniture, and I was like, oh, they're having fun. This is a fun movie. I'm having so much fun. This is great. And I thought that was okay, and then it was not.
My thought was that whomever I do no research at all.
Please.
My theory is the person that made this movie is a videographer by trade, or an editor or something, because the fake commercial for the fair looked like a good, like you're like, oh yeah, that's like someone. Oh, I'm running for Congress. I'm Chip blah blah.
Really?
And this is my.
Okay.
So I was like, okay, but maybe they don't do the creative aspect so much. And we have friends like this that can
Sure.
make a beautiful commercial, but are not too hip to the
that's
the
interesting.
nuances of making a film.
I was like, the commercial is shitty because like it needs to be shittier. Like you need to have a guy missing his cue and like
Yes.
and like it has to be full screen. Was it full screen? Whatever. Like you have to drag on some of them filters, right? You got
That's the problem. It was too competent.
Yeah, it was
So
like
I
just
think it tipped
flat
the
and
hand of
normal,
who the
exactly.
person is.
Interesting. Yeah. No. I'm agreeing with you,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
I'm saying like because I was like I'm so upset by this. What the fuck? Because because the joke should be that they're like, and we've got what like not looking into the camera, right, and then turning at the last minute, just like being like, oh, it's so shitty.
The not
but they
looking
don't,
into
like,
the
do
camera
that. Yeah.
didn't happen because our two people are watching the TV constantly looking over the frame into the camera. I'm like, okay, this is all right. What are we doing? This is such a weird opening shot where it almost felt like
really
when the
sucks
movie
you in.
is done and they're like, we need to pad because the movie is like 1 hour, I think. Like it is
Okay.
legally a feature because of how long the closing credits are, I think.
Okay, so like going in, I'm like, oh no, it looks like it was made in like the dawn of the digital age or something, and like and then I see the the time, I'm like, oh, it's only an hour. This will be merciful. Okay, it felt like it was 5 hours later when the movie ends, and it ends, and then you click the thing because credits have started. Okay, I'm sorry we have to skip to the end. There's 12 minutes remaining when the credits start.
Sewer Gators! Sewer Gators!
And the credits are moving like
the credits go in real time.
Real time. They're moving. It's literally they are moving like a glacier. Like you would have to like the sun's coming up and the moon's going down. It's snowing and like
There
leaves are
should have
falling.
been a
It's
joke
so
there.
slow. Yes. Okay. And the credits are like jittering the way they jitter if you just keyframe movement on like a text effect. Credits are different. You like we had to get like a special plugin that I had to pay like $30 for the night before our movie premiered because the credits didn't work. And we had to like somehow make the credit. You have to like pre-render your credits, is what
Yeah.
I'm saying, because the frame it of the movie or something. Anyway, I was like, oh god, we're in hell. There's 12 minutes of credits. What's
I
happening?
stayed through every goddamn minute
Me
of
too.
them. And
listen,
there was some bloopers and whatever.
I was about to say this is the first time I have ever bailed out when I knew, but I didn't. I was like, no, I'm committed.
We grab
to sit
hands, we
here.
Thelma Louise and drive over the
we
goddamn
literally
cliff.
were like, I guess that's it, and we just fucking because I'm like, I need to know, because I'm like, oh, what if this is
Exactly.
and yeah.
So in the opening credits, there's like a banger of a song though that I was like, okay, they paid a guy to make a song that's Sewer Gator related.
Yes.
I was like, I like this. This kind of slaps. I'm into this.
He'll eat you like a kumquat every time you pop a squat. Watch out for your joystick, cause you know that gator's so slick.
And there's funny credits. So we have crisp stock footage. We have credits like, don't worry, the movie's going to start soon. And then it goes back to some
That
credits.
exact
right? I was
joke
like,
should have been at the
oh,
end. Don't
yeah.
worry, it'll be over soon.
Yes.
Like, something like that was
Exactly,
needed.
exactly.
And like I think it could have really like sold that because it was humorously slow scrolling
Yes.
credits. That there should have been a joke. Like the
Yes.
mayor should have came up and been like, you got to pay extra for fast credits, or like an ad for Coke should have been in the corner, or like
Yeah.
something to make that.
Cut to a
make
guy
sense.
who's like watching TV and does this, and he hits the button and goes brrr, and then it starts speeding up or something, right?
Yeah.
Make it into like you're saying, make it into a joke somehow, because it's clearly hilarious.
Yeah, someone yells
I
to
don't
the
know.
projectionist,
What are you
focus!
doing?
And then, like, they wind up.
Something.
This is how the magic's made, folks.
Anywhere. Churches, restaurants, buffets.
So the thing, like, that I think is humorous, and I have to imagine is intentional. So I will give them some credit where I
Okay.
believe
There's
credit is
some
due.
moments, yeah,
the
yeah.
scale of the Gators are wildly, like, just fluctuating. Nothing is nothing matters. They're
Yeah.
like octopuses. They crawl up
Oh,
pipes
the
and
fun-
out
yeah.
of faucets and things that don't make sense.
That to me was like, oh, they have a pulse. This is, they're like they know what they're doing.
Yeah.
There's something funny there, right? Because the movie asks you to believe that gators can and do like there's like a tail going down the like bathroom, the shower drain or something. And at first I'm like, oh, is it just stupid or do they mean for me to laugh? Ironically laugh at this. And then there's a scene where a guy's like doing dishes and he puts his finger up to the actual tiny little faucet and goes, oh, ow, oh, like as if a crocodile has bitten him from the thing. And then we see tiny crocodile. No, I'm like alligator. We do so many crocodile movies that I've trained myself to say crocodile when I think alligator. So this is gonna be fun. But yeah, little tiny gator toys start coming out of pipes humorously, and I'm like, oh, it's a joke.
No, clearly a joke.
But the fact that it was difficult, where I was like, are they serious? This is terrible. What's going on? Like, it needed to be more of a joke, I feel like. It needed to be, you know, and they're going to say, we did everything. You know, it's so loose, it makes no sense. And I'm like, I know, but it's boring. You need to do something to make me go like, oh, it's such a fun joke.
I know it was not possible on like the budget they had, but had they been able to do, when that first death happens, if a gator would have burst through and crushed that guy, I would have like been like, oh, that's amazing. But just the whole like
having the foot is funny though, where you're like, what?
It's a little odd because he had a shoe on, so like I picture a gator like it's like a Bart Simpson's foot. It's so yellow.
It's great.
Yeah,
that's so stupid and funny. I'm like, okay, fine.
The part that had me like going, oh, that's funny. The girl that plays like the secretary for the sheriff.
Yes, that's wonderful.
She's probably the best part of the movie.
She carries the movie. She's the only actress in the entire movie.
When she says like, I haven't shit in 3 days, like I don't know, like something like that, or like you know, there's gators popping out. Like I was legitimately laughing.
Sheriff, people keep calling about alligators in the sewers, and I haven't peed in 3 days, and I'm scared, and I gotta go real bad. So call me back.
When the mayor calls, but he's like struggling for his life and making noises, and she's like, we pay by the minute here, Mr. Mayor. This is highly irregular, so make it quick. Or oh, that's, and she actually has comedic timing. And
no, she has great timing. So made me laugh more than once.
You are sick, mate. Our phone bill is paid by the minute here, so make it quick.
You're an actual person. Yeah.
And like I thought there were parts when the guy that plays the reporter had like some signs of humor.
Yeah.
But I thought they overdid trying to make him funny. Like all the constant cuts of those like oh, you know, it's like he smells panties and oh, he looks like a corn chip, or like all those things. Like every one of them would pop up with a different tagline there.
The little you know. A normal man with a humorous name. Like okay. When you were like, you know, popping or cutting, I thought like, did we see him doing any of those things? No. It's just his fake, you know, subtitle, whatever it's called.
But like him going into the jacuzzi and having a banana in his banana hammock.
No, and that's...
I was like, that's a funny little throwaway joke that you could miss. I like that. I appreciate it.
It was like a majestic sort of... not Ron Swanson. Who's Anchorman? What's his name? Mr. Anchorman.
He looks a little bit like Bainbridge from
but like,
Mighty Boosh.
You said it, bitch.
All of those things
are Toast of London.
Yeah, all those things tap into the same like character archetype or whatever. He has pompous. Yeah, and when he's there with the robe and like the thong on, it's like a funny image. He like majestically is like, ah, I'm doing this, and goes, oh, he says that's a spicy meatball.
Ooh, that's a spicy meatball.
I'm like, that's just that guy saying that.
Well, I wondered what season it was filmed in.
Yeah,
like,
it's
is that
cold.
just ice water?
No, it's just cold. Like that's just him saying that, and then they just put it in the movie. Like that's not in the script. I'm sure, guaranteed. Yes.
I would wonder what things weren't in the script or because it seems like a loosey-goosey, fun style like filming where it just my friends doing this thing or whatever. Maybe that's not true. Maybe every word on the script was written like exactly as it was said. Yeah,
a guy in a beret being like, oh yes, I have a vision. You see.
A diverse festival. My family's gonna be there.
And of course, the whole time we're doing like a Jaws, where the mayor's like, we have to have the Gator Festival, and people are dying in like crazy ways. Yeah. Everyone's like, I'm so glad the credits were like, my wife and shit like that, because I'm like, this is just someone's mom, that's someone's uncle, that's someone's whatever. All these like victims where you just go to their house for a second, and you don't film any gators, you just film their face. And they do a weird thing where it like freeze frames, where I'm like, is this intentional? What is the joke?
I thought for a long time we were not going to see a single gator in this movie.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, how daring!
Nice.
This will be a thing. So then when we actually did have like, you know, very bad practical gators, I was like, okay, we've made a choice. And then there's an actual digital
Well,
gator, and I was like, okay, didn't expect that at all.
How did you feel about these two choices though? Because the first choice to me, like there's a scene where they throw like an inflatable gator pool toy onto a woman, and she goes, I'm strong with this gator, and I was like, that's kind of funny. I'm okay with that. If that's your like level you're at. But yes, the CG once they unveil the money shot of like the triumphant, alligator.
I didn't hate that.
You liked it? Okay.
Well, it's not that I liked it.
You like that
it's,
CG.
It's that feels on par with what we're, honestly
okay
it
with
feels
that.
way up like we're punching up. That didn't fit in for a different reason because it seems like where'd you get that?
Which is
probably alligator asset number 6 in some sort of pack.
Which is why one of the shots plays in its entirety twice.
Yeah.
Where he comes at the camera. They slow it down the second time, I want to say, but yes. And then the money shot is the outdoor one I'm talking about. Where all the budget, the CG, the money or whatever, had to be that. There's like fire, and he's like doing his whole gator business.
So like my normal thing would be to pick apart and be like, okay, so I understand when they are babies, and I understand that they are adult, but there's clearly this middle tier one where I'm like, well, what is that?
That's
because
an adolescent
the
gator.
clutches don't necessarily line up, I think, with things, and it seems a little weird that in general, there's not a reason why this is happening. Like, why now are these gators coming through the sewer? And these are things like, why are you asking for anything from this movie? It would not reveal any of these things. What do you mean? But it's like my inner workings don't change. I have the same requests and questions in any movie I watch, whether it's $1 million or $10. Because these are things you can answer with words. They're free.
Sure.
Like oh, she's hungry because she got a toothache. Like I don't know, like something.
They got so many teeth and no toothbrush. I know what you're talking about. I know about alligators.
Mama says that alligators are ornery because they got all them teeth but no toothbrush.
No, Colonel Sanders, you're wrong.
No, Colonel Sanders, you're wrong.
Okay. What?
Found in the sewer. It's a gator. Sewer Gator.
The biggest question not answered, and I might be able to answer it myself. The sheriff's office, he's got 2 monitors on arms, and they're not facing him.
Yeah.
They're not facing the other person, so it's not like they're like tilted into each other. So like it makes me think that like, oh yeah, you can use my office. Oh no, I got really important documents on there. You can't see those. Could we just turn it off? Oh God, no, I'm not hitting the button.
I don't. There was one scene in particular where someone's like, "Okay, tell me the thing." Yeah, I'll type in the thing, and the monitor is just.
Yeah, I'm typing it up now. All right, so.
I don't know how what?
I think they try to treat it as if he could see it, but like we can't. But it's clearly like to his side, like not.
They're like
facing
crushed
anything.
together. Like
it's really good.
It was very strange.
We've been just seeing like the back of a monitor on like the other side of his eye line, and
and you can see like the blue glowing light on the back of the other monitor. So you're like, these are the questions.
Listen, sometimes
I
you
love
can use
to
the
ask.
location, but yes, exactly. Like what is
and that's I try to. Okay, what could possibly be the reason for this? I'm like, did they move the monitors to get a shot and just never move them back? It's kind of like when you can see paint that was used to like paint something in the set, like just on the side there. But I feel like it's a location-based thing.
It's like the big silver monster is here to kill us. He look at him. He's knocking things over, including the coffee table that has a can of silver spray paint on it.
Yeah,
exactly. No, there's I had a lot of questions too. But I'm not super motivated for the answers. I feel like they're just having fun, barely doing the bare minimum or whatever. And listen, I will put up with a lot of shit. I will go down that road. I love when someone's like, "It's our establishing shot," and I'm like, "That's a can of soda on its side," and you just wrote like our hideout on it, and like it's just being filmed, and that's so and then later a giant will step on it, and you're like, it's there for a reason, right? You can do wild shit with zero or negative money or something like that. I feel like ultimately here, it's not building to a good enough or funny enough thing that I can be like, oh, it was worth it. We're in like fake candy land. It's fine, right?
I still think I would imagine for what the budget of this movie is,
yeah,
it's still worth it in quotes. Like. I think you give that same budget to a lot of people, they're going to give you literally nothing.
Okay.
And like this is a movie. Like by the skin of its teeth,
sure.
it is a movie.
Absolutely. Yeah.
I've watched so much worse than this.
Of course. Of course.
For a movie to even make me laugh a few times, I'm like, no, you made a great movie. I laughed a few times. Because a lot of things just make me want to kill myself.
Yeah.
Fuck off. And die.
That's kind of similar to what I was going to say. Is I only have so much time left on this earth. I can't waste it on movies that are below a certain threshold of like quality.
For a group, though, this could be really funny. I think.
Yeah, I mean,
if you're drinking,
if this is
heavily,
your thing, if you are.
Yeah.
You know, and honestly, like, if our friends made this, I'd be like, oh, yeah, buddy, you did, oh, look at all this effort, you did so good.
That's so insulting.
But, yeah, I know.
Our friends suck.
That's what I'm saying. That's so insulting. Our friends could never make this. No, but that's what I'm saying is, like, yes, but I don't know these motherfuckers, so I'm like, oh, keep trying, I guess. Like, what do you mean? Like, it's not, yeah.
No, I think a less... grand attempt here, like if you would have went for something that wasn't Gators, maybe like a serial killer movie, like where it's just a guy with a hammer or something. I think they could have with their same tone, like as a starting piece. And again, I do no research at all. For all I know, they've made many things. And this is their magnum opus here. I have no idea.
All right, me in the editing bay. So I have done a little research now. It does look like they have done a few things before this, and one of them is called Silent But Deadly, and that shit looks amazing. We might have to cover that one. All right, back to the video.
This is the crescendo that's been building for decades.
But I do say I would watch more things from them. I think there's something there that interests me. I think, like, having done no research, I picture the mayor is the director.
He likes that baby soft skin. Oh, he's so cute. You should shave your mustache. I'm never shaving this mustache.
Somebody is, right?
I always think that.
Gotcha, bitch.
Let's pivot to that, right? Because we do involve people where you're like, oh, that's the guitar man what played the theme song, right?
Yeah.
It must be. And that's just him in his place, and he's a character. He's a victim of it.
Probably,
right?
yeah.
It has to be. They don't know two people that play guitar. Let's not be ridiculous here.
Having the mayor not die from his like dick bite.
Yeah.
You know, in addition to being able to get that joke at the end about him looking for like doctors that are good at whatever.
Don't matter. It doesn't matter. Just find me one.
I'm picturing like, well, that way when we make another movie in universe, I can come back because I know I can be there. I'm the director. Like, that's my mind playing out what this would be.
Interesting.
Like, never kill people you know you have access to forever. Kill people like, I don't think I can get John back. He's moving to Indiana. Yeah, he's going to die.
This feels like the level, because it doesn't feel quite film school, right? It's interesting. I'm not
I
sure
would say
what
this is the absence of film school, honestly.
Right?
Yeah.
But also, like, then you should be free to do whatever you want.
I think they did.
Then
I think they did whatever they wanted.
Then I stand by my negative assessment because this is not good enough. I don't know. Like, you can do whatever you want. Do something funnier or something wilder or something crazier. I feel like they were trying to let it all be carried on this whole thing of like, gators can't fit through a drain. And you're like, yeah, I know.
And honestly, with like the number of shark movies that are in that direction, I think that like, you know, this it's not a avenue not want to go. Like, people want this shit. There's definitely a large market of bad movie lovers. Like, I'm generally one of them. It just, I think you needed a little bit more here, having all of your deaths be pretty much off-screen stuff like that. Or like, you know, like type of thing. Is where you lose me, because a lot of things that I like in a low-budget movie is I sacrifice a lot. This part's bad, this part's slow, but then I get a good kill or a good this or a good that or something, and we fell just short of those things for me. That's why I say I think there's potential, though.
No, that's what I'm trying to say, is there were moments where I began to think about, oh, let me unlock the door. Oh, let me crack it open a little. Oops, forgot to take the chain off. Hold on, close it again, and then do this. But then it's like, I never really got through. I never really made the full way, because it was like, because it could be partially because it's so short. And yes, I think they needed a friend who's like an effects guy or something. That's what's missing from this, where you're gonna do like, oh, our movie's all about people dying. Oh, we need this.
And honestly,
I need like an eyeball dangling from a croc's mouth or something. I need a thing.
The guy who plays like the doll's eye character, like you know, like Bubba or whatever the fuck he was, the hunter of alligators.
I called him Bald Tattoos.
Yeah.
You need a hunter? I've seen them. I can hunt them and I can kill them.
So Bald Tattoos, that guy strikes me as a dude that would be an effects guy. Like, oh, I love metal and I love horror and I kill things for fun. Like,
I'm mixing up a bucket of Gel 10 right now. Yeah,
that's the vibe I got. And I was like, oh yeah, he's in this because he's gonna do those things for you. Yeah. And then those things never happen. So like typecast. So sorry, bro.
And that can be really funny, because I do want to highlight whatever I can. I'm scraping to get some, because because after that guy's finger gets bitten and the little toy comes out, he like kills it. He like crushes it in his his
ketchup.
sink, and it's just ketchup thrown around the sink with a little toy alligator. And I'm like, that's really funny. Same thing with the pot on the stove, the pan,
burning
it, and you're like, that's cute, that's funny.
I think
and, like,
that would have been
like
a
on her
move
face
where it
and
would have been
stuff,
like spread a little Pam, and then like in the next scene she's calling for help and she's like eating an alligator sandwich or something, like
just sticking
kick
out
it
of the
up a
back
notch.
of the bread.
Yeah.
Okay, but that's what I'm saying. In the elevator on the way up to do the pitch, we could brainstorm 10 jokes that would have punched this up. Right?
This is something that I always say when we watch movies like this. We can always think of things to punch stuff up. I would love to get the script before it gets like, we're gonna have a table read tomorrow. Hang on. Oh yeah, let's just see what we can do here, and just add a little bit here, pepper things in, because they're never expensive things, but they go a long way.
And it's like you say, that's why you want the making of featurette behind the scenes story or the interview panel. Do a panel so I can really understand where they're like, oh man, we were literally being kicked out. We had to mute because someone's yelling like, leave or I'll call the cops. And we're filming the last scene. It's like I want to hear how crazy and how wild everything was to make the movie.
Because if you said we filmed it in like 2 days,
yeah,
I'd be like, yeah, that checks out, and you did a good job, bro. Like that makes sense. But I do have a feeling it's probably like 17 weekends over the course of a year.
I really wonder too if like who's like the visionary, who's the aspirational person, and who's just getting paid and not like.
Oh, no one got paid.
No, I mean like who's
they
just
paid $150 for the song. I'm gonna guess.
Okay.
And that's the only money that was spent in this movie.
No,
that's my guess.
I don't mean literally paid. I mean who's there because they're an actor.
Oh, okay.
And they're just doing this as like part of their thing. And who's in the inner circle? Like you said, oh, is Bainbridge his friend who does the thing?
Yeah.
Oh, this guy owns a truck, so he can drive the things there. Like who's what in this?
Yeah, I bet like 3 people are local theater actors. This is probably filmed in like a part of the South where there's not a big actor community, but theaters everywhere. So that's my guess, and the rest are friends. And for that, I applaud the effort. I think it worked for what it is. I just think that a little bit of things here can make this go a lot better.
Yeah. I think in the greater context of what they're doing, if this is their first effort where they were like, maybe we could make a movie, then I'm like, okay, cool.
I would applaud it, yeah.
That's like very different than like, oh, we love this. This is exactly what we wanted it to be. I'd be like, oh no.
You're Cajun to the choir.
Well, what the hell's the plan?
It's a multifaceted plan.
Well,
there's a really interesting shot, and by interesting, I mean if there were more things like this, like bad, I think it could elevate the whole project.
Oh.
And I don't rewind ever, but what I believe is there's a shot in the jacuzzi when he first gets attacked by the alligator that is a split screen.
Oh yeah, baby, get on in. The water's fine.
Where they didn't have the head of the gator, so it's the body of the fake gator laying on the ground, and they cut vertically to make the attack happen. I might be totally wrong, but I believe this is a thing. And we will watch it right now together, and I'm either a brilliant genius who can catch things, or I'm an idiot.
Oh, hello, Dolly.
When you say right now, we're not watching it now. We have no idea. But,
Oh no!
But
I was right. I knew it.
Okay.
Or hang on.
I did both. That way we're good. I don't remember it the way you're describing it, but it might just be a terminology thing. I don't recall this being wild, but it might have been.
In my head, it was the most ludicrous shot in the movie, and I loved it. But again, I never rewind, so we'll never know until I was right. I knew it.
That was more towards the end, where I was like struggling. It was a struggle to watch the movie in certain points. But I again want to highlight in general, like they're doing the Jaws thing, including having like we do Lake Placid, right? We have someone from the whatever society shows up, and she's like, I know about gators and stuff.
Laura Andrews, Louisiana Ecological Wetlands Department.
Like they're doing all these tropey things. I thought it might have been a little bit of biting Stranger Things style with the sheriff, but I still thought it was relatively like what he's always drinking, and she even like mentions it or something. That was like fine. They're just doing a joke. What made it for me is when they finally see the alligator, they're like, oh my god, yeah, wow, oh shit. And he goes to open a beer right there, like he has a beer in the moment.
Doesn't she take it from him?
She does
right there?
take it
Yeah.
from him. Yes.
Kind of undercut it a little bit.
That's stupid. Yes.
Yeah.
But just that, just to have the wherewithal, the sheriff didn't knock my socks off as like an actor.
No.
But to care enough about that, comedic beat, I was like, okay, you're actually doing this on purpose.
I got Tremors vibes from the girl, like I'm a seismologist. I'm a alligatorologist, like that kind of thing. And like, I loved almost nothing involving their chemistry except for the ending fight scene when she takes a shotgun out of fucking nowhere and drives it right into a gator that is on his chest. I don't think it was a joke, but it made me laugh so hard, the idea of just like firing a shotgun directly into the chest of the person you're trying to save.
He says you're shooting at me. What are you doing?
It's pretty funny.
Oh man, he's like brushing himself off. Yeah.
Jesus! What the hell was that?
What?
You shot at me!
You're welcome.
At certain times, you can see a hand like operating
Yes.
baby gators or things off screen, and like it's an accident. But had they leaned into that more and made that a thing, I think that could have been really funny.
I also want to call out, I noticed the scene where a boom dips into the shot.
We're gonna need a hunter. Come on.
Should you be driving right now?
Probably multiples, but here's the one I noticed. We're doing the thing now, where it's breaking the fourth wall. No, but yes, like that's sort of what I'm trying to articulate. Is there's a way to do exactly this level of movie, but make it a little more entertaining and kind of like swing out a little more.
Like, had there been a part where you have the gators coming at somebody, and with both hands the guy's like this, but then the other hand of the person holding the gator like slaps his hand away or something, that would have been so funny.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, and there's a lot where like stuff is. I feel like if we had them here, if we had more chairs, is the only thing holding us back from this.
The only thing holding us back.
And they'd be like, no, we are doing that. They're little toys like you'd get in like a big sack of toys from the dollar store.
Yeah.
Clearly, we're this is all a joke or something. But something about the way things hit and land didn't
Yeah, because
I don't know how to explain it.
It's just at a point where it could be an earnest attempt, like at certain moments, and clearly they're coming through drains. It's obviously a joke.
Obviously,
and title cards, we lean into certain parts where we're like, look, it's a joke, stupid. See the joke?
Yes.
But other parts I feel like are a little too serious, and that could be where you're attempting a joke, but I think it's just falling short of it. So I think leaning harder into being bad might have made everything better.
I think, I might have said something like that really early on and forgotten, but I'm like, it has to be worse or better. It was in this uncanny valley. Because, it's like someone singing, like, bad as a joke, but then when they sing, like, good, it's, like, kind of sounds the same, and you're like, wait, are you just bad at singing? I can't tell, because I know you were trying to sing bad on purpose there, but now you're like, oh, the gloves are off, let me really wow you, and you're like, this is, like, arguably this. It's not that much.
Might be worse.
It's not that much better. What are you doing? Yeah. I'm being so insulting to these poor gator enthusiasts.
What's up with the Mormon?
What is up with the Mormon?
Hi, Mother. How are you today? Good morning, sir. Would you like to
So
that's another funny thing. Okay, because he gets killed by gator-flavored ramen, as if like the spirit of the gator is murdering. Well, did I make that joke up, or do you agree that's what the joke was?
That happened. I don't know. I don't know why.
What is wrong with these people? The only good things I found was this gator-flavored ramen noodle. It's supposedly delicious.
Do you think he just choked because it was like, oh, we forgot about this character? Or do you think that they are implying that the murder carries through the flavoring of the ramen?
Honest opinion is, we need this to be longer. Can we add another character that doesn't make any difference to the movie?
That never touches?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, there's a vibe there too, where they are struggling to get across the length threshold. Yeah.
And like, Mormons are funny.
Yeah.
Okay, but...
No, but these shots too indicate some sort of artistry. You get the close-up of his mouth. You show, you kind of like profile this guy in a way where you really get his vibe. So you can feel when the woman's like, I'm Catholic, get out of here, and shit like that, right?
It would have been funnier if there's some power of God thing that stops him from dying, I think, rather than having him die weirdly. Like, Gator hits him, he's like... Christ, bitch. Like,
yeah, LDS. What do you mean?
Yeah.
Or like he speaks Gator. I'm studying to do my missionary in Florida or something. Yeah, no, like there's so much. What the fuck? Yes, do
or
something.
He's like, because like they're trained in like that camp in fucking Utah. Like the gator comes at him and like he takes his tie off. He's like, oh, like he's choking him
he's
out.
doing it or whatever. Yeah, and like even if he ultimately fails, and like that's the thing too. I feel like because this is set in Louisiana, I'm not sure if it's filmed there.
Yeah.
But I think throughout this entire part of the country, there's like a Mormon, right? Like they should have inside jokes about Mormons that they put in there. Maybe they were and I missed them. I don't even know. It's a very short part.
What
do you got?
I can't stop laughing at my own stupidity.
You're laughing at the thing you just thought. Yes.
I picture the rooftop scene of Ninja Turtles, and it's Raphael and the Foot Clan's coming out. And he's like, "How do you guys expect to beat me?" And it's the alligator. Good answer. Good answer.
Good answer.
And then like it's that whole like there's a fucking pile on him.
Yeah.
And then they would cut away. You think he's dead, and then at the end, he bursts out of a pile of fucking alligators.
Yeah.
Oh shit! And like maybe like taps his chest, like to God or something.
Yeah. No, there's so many directions you can go. Where like he is unironically super powered, or he thinks he is but is not, and that's funny.
Yeah.
Or he is but it only works up to a certain point, and then it gets to like the real Gator, and he's like, oh no, I can't do it anymore.
A series of coincidences that make it seem like he actually is, but he's not.
Like you do this and someone has a heart attack and dies. He's like, I have the power. Yes.
Real men.
Or it could be a thing where like that somehow ties into your thing of like, why are the gators attacking now? Like what's going on? Do they say anything?
I don't think so.
Are there wetlands being destroyed? Is there anything? They don't even bother.
Alligators are in our sewers. They are coming for you. They are coming for your grandmother. They are coming for your children. Tonight we'll explore the stories.
I'm not sure if this is the band, but there is a band called OJ and the Simpsons.
Yeah.
Genius.
Sewer Gators!
It says, theme song.
Oh, does it say theme song? I can't read.
It said something by.
Yeah, that's what I know.
Yeah, no, and that's why, like, it has all the trappings of being like, oh, we're having so much fun with our friends here. I feel like there should be a system of like regional qualifiers and tiers before things get widely distributed. Where local, like, they should just go watch this at their local place with their friends for a while, and then it should have to earn its way up to us somehow. Or we're the filter. Yeah, and I'm blocking it. I'm like, no. I'm mad with power.
Gladys, hand me a splash of that.
Come on. Stop that.
And just so we mentioned here, had they not sent me a digital screener, this doesn't work. This isn't like a Blu-ray. It looks incomplete. It doesn't play. It didn't play on either of our Blu-ray players.
It might have been a scam.
But I appreciate the box because that's why we're talking about it right now. All right, guys, thanks for watching. Let us know in the comments what you thought about it. Don't die in a fire, and we'll see you next time.
If you want to support the show, head over to cannibalvideo.com, pick up some merch.
And if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button.
That's all right.
Yeah, that's something.
Whatever.
Fuck these motherfuckers.
Here on Brock Peterson Live Action News with Brock Peterson, I'm your host, Brock Peterson.